Starting to the right side, we have the CJ Entus player. He's starting in red, and this, of course.
CJ Entus Trust.
Protoss he trusts, and now he also has to trust in his abilities to take down one of the strongest players that we have in this group. His opponent is starting to the left side. He is
MarineKing Prime.
Oh, a hiccup there maybe.
I think that was a burp.
Yeah, it's possible. One of those confirmation burps. Sneezes.
Isn't that more your thing?
Well, you know, some things of genius transcend into other geniuses. You know, that's why they say great minds think alike.
I'm not gonna jump on that. That's like, this is, and I want you to appreciate it, because this is like putting a soccer ball in front of an empty goal without a goalkeeper and then putting me there. If you put a German in this situation, he will always score.
Yeah.
So I hope that you appreciate that I'm not gonna jump on this like this opening that you just gave me.
Whenever I see that ball in front of the empty goal, I never kick it.
Why?
I'll tell you why.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Because what if you hit your foot like at a weird angle and you missed entirely? Isn't that embarrassing?
Oh my god.
Or you hit just the rim? It depends how far away you are from the goal, okay? If it's fairly close, then that's one thing. But if it's, you know, maybe say 8 to 15 meters away, I don't know if I want to take that chance.
Well, okay, I can actually understand that. I mean, you being American, but we Germans were actually good at that game.
I'm not good. I don't take that chance, especially if I'm with a friend or a girl or something. Not even gonna think about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're gonna kick my ass at basketball.
Well, no, not actually me. By the way, this pro will see everything. He does not get blocked out. He's going to see the command center first and the gas being taken here. And this is Icarus, so that's a rich gas. Oh, he took the gas with the wrong SCV. But everything's fine.
Yeah.
For now, the probe could get antsy.
The probe could get a kill here. Yes, and
He's going to go for it. Boom.
Oh, wow. This is like super probe.
Don't put that probe in anybody's base. Probe goes in. Probe's not going out, but he's not going out without a fight. Well, I mean, by going out, I mean like dying in this case, because he's not going out of this base at all.
Hey, the probe got first blood. That is like, for probe, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Now here comes the Marine, and bye-bye probe. Live fast or young,
blood,
you know?
He just suddenly makes a dark shrine. I'm like, how do you have that much money? He's like, I got first blood.
Yeah, live fast or young. The probe lived a full life, took down an SCV. That's all that you will ever achieve. I mean, what's the alternative? Being in the main base the entire time, being afraid of drops, and then like working your entire life? This is like not really a dream.
It's not ideal. You know, probes, some SCVs pick fights with the wrong probes, and that can be problematic. So going into the mid game here, we have a slightly later Nexus for Trust, and he will have the extra mineral boost as well. This map is a weird one because it really lends itself, not only because of that backdoor expansion with gold patches, but also because the third base is so far away, to two base timing attacks, usually by the Protoss.
Yeah. And talking about Trusts, Protoss versus Terran, what we have seen in the GSL is that he did not win a single map against his only Terran opponent, against Yoda. So MarineKing definitely not only the favorite because he has a lot more games under his belt, but also because the games that we've seen so far from Trust against Terran weren't too impressive. MarineKing himself has a 68% win ratio against Protoss with nearly 300 games played in televised matches, which is really, really impressive. But on the other hand, if you look at his last two matches, he lost against Finale at the IPL qualifier, and he lost against Shoya in the GSTL preseason, which was admittedly in Heart of the Swarm, but still MarineKing definitely the favorite player in this game.
Yeah, by far, he has a lot of experience. And he's also up in this group.
Yeah.
So this is a really important match for him, because he might be able to really solidify his position. We'll see what he is going to do against Trust's build. Trust looks like he actually wants to play for the late game. And we may genuinely see a third base from both players based on how they're playing. And I'm not sure why more Terran players are not playing like MarineKing on this map and just making blind bunkers and playing extremely safe after they expand, because I feel like most of the time when you see a Terran player lose on this map, it's to either a Zerg or a Protoss all in on 2 base. It's never to the late game.
This is one of those maps where it's just really difficult to protect this third base if you have a very aggressive opponent that has a good multitasking and is able to just get, for example, drops in there or have run-bys. It's really tricky. But Trust is going into Storm and Charge, which I think is a really good choice for him. MarineKing, actually sniping one of those Stalkers. Never something that you want to happen if you're a Protoss player. That early Stalker gives you so much information that you always want to save it.
Oh, look at this.
Surprise, surprise.
It's going to be a 2-base timing attack with... Normally you see this type attack with +2 armor, but yeah, it's going to be the Archons, and it looks like only +1. He's going way too fast with those gates to be +2 armor.
It's just one of those maps where we see so many very aggressive builds and gateway aggression. We've seen Proxy Robo on this map quite a lot for the Immortals and then going in. And he's actually getting now the Storm upgrade too. He can go into Archons, he has the Charge upgrade on his way, +1 armor, going into Storm. So a very aggressive move here by Trust. But MarineKing is not one to just sit in his base and idly wait until something happens.
I guess it's also possible that Trust just tries to bully his way into a third base by sending out a massive amount of pressure and then take the third Nexus while he keeps MarineKing on the defensive. But based on these warpins, I would not say that's going to be the case. This is going to be extremely difficult for Trust to hold without Storm, where he's facing right now. He's going to have to hit some force fields.
Yeah, he has to buy himself some time until the Storm upgrade is done.
Yeah, it'll be done very soon. He is hitting those Chronos on it, and once it is done, he's going to have a bunch of Storms and the production to make massive amounts of Charge Zealots.
There's still a probe. Okay, he sees the probe. He can take it down now. Yeah, realizes it and will kill it. But here comes the army, and now Storm is not done just yet. But here we go.
Wow, insanely good Storm.
Really nice timing here for Trust. That worked so well for him. But MarineKing is still going to Storm, and now he has those 2 medivacs. He can actually elevate out onto the high ground if he wants to.
I feel Trust should have waited until MarineKing tried to go into his range. Excellent pullback on those weakened units into the medevac. Trust is in a lot of trouble. MarineKing is going to face a small counterattack here, but I think he should be able to thwart it. But Trust, he does not have enough units to continue holding off this pressure from MarineKing if he keeps attacking at 2 fronts, for example, hitting the backdoor expansion as he's doing now.
That's a big problem for Trust, and he tries to make something happen with this run by that you just mentioned. Here come those Zealots, and a good Storm, a really good Storm. MarineKing is busy at the bottom right, that's why he doesn't see what's happening here. Can we get the feedbacks off at the medivacs? At the bottom right, where MarineKing is now walking into the main base and hitting the natural at the same time.
Yeah, he is cleaned up with the natural, but the main Nexus will fall. Can MarineKing hold his ramp? I feel he should be able to. We're not taking a look at it just yet. Now we are. And you know what? MarineKing did not have his production ready. He has Hellions on the way, desperately trying to defend, but he doesn't have his barracks finished yet, and he's maybe going to finish those. It looks like we have SCVs killing High Templar. What am I watching?
I don't know, but this is definitely crazy. The big problem we currently have is that Trust is, yes, ahead in supply, but he doesn't really have a lot of mining anymore. In his main base, the base is gone. He only has his natural available. If MarineKing can clear up this army to the top left without suffering too much losses, he will still be on 3 orbitals with the additional mules.
This is not good. Trust is losing a lot of his Zealots here. He needs to fight MarineKing with his one advantage, which is his army composition. He can't throw away Zealots like this. In fact, if he throws away these Zealots at the bottom here, I'm going to be so disappointed. He just cannot lose units like this right now.
He needs good Storms. With Zealots alone, even with the Archons, he cannot win this game. He has to have good Storms, and in choke points like these, we will see Trust winning the fight.
Yeah, I just don't see it either. Even though the force fields here are good, the Archon, once it falls, there's no more damage output. Trust does not have production with that Nexus being down.
The supply is still very, very even, but MarineKing has still 3 bases at his disposal.
Yeah.
He has those mules, he has the orbitals, he's going into triple SCV production, and Trust is a bit on a clock.
Yeah, the production tab just tells it all. Trust cannot produce. MarineKing has a ton on the way. He's re-getting those add-ons for his barracks. He's going to have a bunch of Marine production. He's getting more medevacs, which he's known for, especially after last game. And interestingly enough, continues his Hellion production. I guess he's still on the mind of part of the Swarm here.
What Trust is trying to do is try and break MarineKing now. He knows that if the game continues, he will be in a worse and worse spot. This is why he tries to end things. But MarineKing, with those splits, the Storms were decent, but are they enough? He doesn't really look like it.
He needs like one more Storm, and he just doesn't have it. And the Archons fall here.
The sentries are gone, and
Hellion
now
drop
Hellions at the natural.
Oh, he could actually fight the Hellions with his probes. I guess he doesn't realize it.
This is going to seal the deal.
Yeah. this is going to be game over. He had basically no production. Now he has really no production.
He's losing all of those harvesters. He just lost 35 in total. He killed 21, but MarineKing is still ahead in workers, and he also has the mules. There is just way too much for MarineKing now.
I feel MarineKing's experience really showing through here. A lot of Terran players that got scared by the initial storms and not continued the attack. MarineKing said no, he kept up his pressure, and now he is miles ahead. 80 supply to 27. He has production. Trust is making 1 probe right now. It's all he can afford. He's got no gas.
Yeah, this is definitely looking good for the Casper player. In the past, up and downs have always been a very, very tough spot to be in for a Casper player. Not a single one of them has been gotten out of the up and downs, and it looks like the trend is going to continue. GG!
Trust takes an 0-2, and he will not be going to Code S today.
Well, he still has a crazy, crazy chance to go into a tiebreaker, but it's
I guess
really,
that's true.
it's kind of unlikely that he really happens to be going to Code S, but he's not out just yet.
Yeah, you are correct. Well, MarineKing taking a tough victory there, but he played it well. Just not stopping the pressure, continuing to drop, and being very careful with his defense against the storms.
And well, this means that we have MarineKing now with a 2-0. Trust didn't win a single map so far today, but MarineKing did very well, won both his games. And for Stefano, who lost against MarineKing earlier, a lot is on the line now. He's going to play against Lure in his next game. So that's going to be a very interesting match. Both of them, of course, want to have a win. We have Lure already with a 1-0. Stefano wants to tie scores with his opponent, and that's what he has to do. So I think we are actually jumping into a short break before we have our next game. I'm not 100% sure, but
It looks like we're actually just going to start.
Okay.
Based on what they say on the chat to me. But I wasn't sure either. I was like,
Yeah, everything has been changed a little bit when Yonghwa forfeited, and therefore the entire schedule just changed completely. In case you tuned in a little bit later, once again the information that Yonghwa, who was supposed to be one of the 5 players today, could not make it because he has to go to IM. Same is true for Stefano, but Stefano has a later group, probably got a little bit of a better flight too. So today we have a 4-player group with Trust, Lure, MarineKing, and Stefano. And therefore everything had to adjust the time a little bit.
So you have confirmed 100%.
Okay.
Break is after this game. Lure versus Stefano is going to be a close one. I think a lot closer than a lot of people expect. I think most people are thinking Stefano will take this one, but I feel in this matchup right now, Stefano is just... He's just not as dominant as he once was in Zerg versus Protoss these days.
Yeah, for me it's always a little bit difficult to judge the loss that he had against Flying.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
One of the games was basically just him making a small mistake and getting blindsided by DTs. Then the third game where Lure closed things, Flying closed things, was a very well played game by the Protoss player. But if I would have to put money on one of those players, I would put my money on Stefano. Lure will definitely do his best, and you're right, Lure is a player that is very, very underestimated.
Yeah, I think that his Protoss versus Zerg style is very unique as well. Loves his Stargate play, and if Stefano does not stop him and shut him down with that roach aggression that we all know and love from him, I think Lure might become a very difficult force to stop in the late game with Colossi, Void Rays, eventually Carriers as well, and I think we're going to see a Phoenix opening.
Let's not forget that Lure just barely lost against his own teammate in the 3rd round of Code S, and before that he took down 2 Zerg players. He won against Jaedong and he won against Effort. So we'll see if he can repeat that against Stefano. We're jumping into the game right now. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Stefano versus Lure. The GSL up and downs come on board.